Hello, this is Rainy Link. I'd like to talk to you today about Quizlet, which is a wonderful resource for electronic flashcards. It is designed to work with your laptop or desktop, and it is very self-explanatory and user-friendly. It has a lot of features that really help you understand all of the different functionalities of it, starting with this video right here on its front page. So just go ahead and sign in here, create yourself a username and a password, and get in there, and you'll find that there's a lot of great features in there, and I've designed flashcards that I think will really help you in this course. I've created this video, though, to talk about something a little bit different, how to get Quizlet to work with your mobile device, your tablet, or your cell phone. Quizlet itself does not have an app, but it works literally with dozens of different apps in the Android or Apple world. So we're going to walk through the steps today on how to make that work. I'd like to start off with the Android. There, again, are a number of different apps that will work with Quizlet, sync up, and bring those electronic flashcards over to your mobile device. Now, I'm an Apple user, but I recommend for Android products to use Quiz Your Brain. It's a free app, and it is recommended by the Quizlet developers. Now, I personally, since I'm an Apple user, I don't have Android products, so I can't walk you through the step-by-step, but you'll find that it's very self-explanatory and you'll be able to get to where you need. For Apple users, those who have an iPad or an iPhone or even an iPod that connects to the internet, I recommend using Flashcard. Now, as you can see here on the right, there are literally dozens of different flashcard apps that will sync up with Quizlet, but I am focusing on this one because it's a free app, and I encourage you to type in under the search Flashcard. That'll get you to the right app. If you just put in flashcards, it can be a little bit of which choice, but if you spot this icon, that's the right one. So here's a screenshot of my iPad, and I'm going to go here and visit the App Store, and I'm going to go in under Search, and I'm going to type in Flashcard, and then that will take me to the appropriate app. So as you can see here, I typed in the Flashcard into the search field, and I have the right app, and so it'll say either free or install, and you just click on that button, and then it will download the app onto your iPad. So then within less than a minute, you'll find that the app will download onto your iPad, and then you just go ahead and click on it and go into the program. The first time you open the program, you'll find that it'll immediately ask you to go into a tutorial, and I encourage you to go ahead and click on that Yes button and go ahead and get started. The tutorial actually walks you through the instructions on a series of flashcards, and as you go, it teaches you the different functions, tap and double tap, and what those mean and how it works. But I've put a red arrow here to indicate this button in the upper right, because at any time it'll drop down and give you all of your different options. What I'd like to focus on for just a moment here is adjusting the font. You may like the default font, and if that works for you, that's fantastic, but if you want to use something a little bit different that you might find easier to read, it's very simple to adjust the font, as you'll see on the next slide. As you can see, I've created a different font that I find a little bit easier to read. And you can see that also by flipping your mobile device or tablet, it works in either the portrait or the landscape orientation. One of the great features of Flashcard is it lets you focus on cards that you feel like you need to study a little bit more. You can just literally just tap on this star here. I've put a red arrow there to indicate it, and then that is something that will allow you to come back to that card and study it again. If you were to go up here and do this check that says I've mastered the content, I don't need to do this flashcard again right now, and then it'll go away until you open your next flashcard session. So it's not permanently removed, but it's removed during this particular session when you're studying. A very useful tool. Once the tutorial is done, you'll come to the screen, you'll see, hey, there's nothing in my flashcard library. So what you need to do is come up here to this little plus sign up here, click on it, and it's going to give you a number of options. So then we're just going to single click on download from Quizlet so we can go get those cards. I've put a red arrow here to indicate where you're going to type in RN link. RNLink is my account name, and it is also the name I put into the title of every set of flashcards that I've created for all of my courses. So by typing in RNLink here, you'll be able to access all of the flashcards for all of the classes. So here we go. We've typed in RNLink. So here we go. All the card sets that I've created so far, all named RNLink, have shown up here. So just as a for example, we're going to choose the first set of cards and download those. As you can see here, this is both for my Intro to Farm class and the Advanced Nursing Farm class. So I'm just randomly choosing this first one so we can just walk through the steps on how to do it. So after we tapped on that first set of cards, this is a screen that will come up, and it describes a little bit about the cards, but the big button to press is one I've put the big red arrow at, and that is Add to Library. This button will bring it to your mobile device. Very quickly, in less than a minute, you'll find that that flashcard deck has been added, and this is what your screen will look like. So go ahead and tap on the OK button. So congratulations, you've added your first set of cards to your flashcard library. Let's go ahead and tap right here, and we'll go ahead and get started working with them. So once you tap on that, this is a screen that will come up. So look to the lower right-hand corner. I've put the red arrow there, and you want to click on the button Study so you can get started with working with these flashcards. This is the next screen that comes, and it gives you a number of different options. You can work with them in original order, random order, alphabetical order, but I'll let you decide how you want to use that. We're just going to focus where the red arrow is, and we're going to tap on Start Studying. This particular set of flashcards is where I give you a drug class, and then you have to identify what the proper suffix is for that all the generic names will use. So here I've got a card, alpha-1 adrenergic antagonists. I've got in parentheses there a little reminder that antagonists block the receptor site. So then you think to yourself and you try to think, what is that right suffix? And you have an answer in your head, and then you press the card once, just tap it, and then it'll show you the right answer, and you'll see whether you were right or if you need to study a little bit more. Hopefully all of you could identify that the proper answer was Zosyn, but if not, then you can continue to use this flashcard, and it'll help you remember. You can just swipe your finger from left to right, and you'll go to the next card, and then you can go through all the different cards in the deck. As you come through again, if you come across Zosyn, you're having some difficulty remembering this particular one. If you wanted to, you have the option, of course, of pressing the star and identifying that as a card you want to come back to. If you have gone through the cards 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times and you find that I always know Zosyn, if you wished, you could go ahead and press this check button, and then it'll take it out of the rotation for this study session. Again, not permanently remove it, but just remove it from this particular study session so you can focus on cards with terms and vocabulary that you don't know as well. And here I'm showing you what it looks like. If you go ahead and press that check mark, you get a little menu there. And again, it just takes it out of this study session, does not remove it permanently from your cards or your mobile device. Again, I just want to remind you of the button in the upper right. At any time it'll drop down and give you all the different options of what you can do with the different cards. I hope that this little tutorial is helpful, and we really want you to get the most out of Quizlet and the different flashcard apps. We want you to be able to study on the go and anywhere, anytime. I hope that this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.